Hello and welcome to this online safety update. I'm Mr. Abraham and I'm hopefully going to be providing some of these updates for you regularly, hopefully once a month, just to keep parents and carers and children and young people updated with all things regarding digital safety, online safety, and things that are current in the news. So first and foremost, for this video, we're going to talk about problematic social media usage. Now, social media is huge across the world. Things like Facebook, X, Snapchat, Instagram. There's all sorts of different platforms out there. Now, a survey was done with 280,000 11 to 15-year-olds just to talk about their use of social media. Now, approximately 11% of those children actually said that they were engaging in problematic social media usage. And that includes things like addiction, withdrawal, and constant arguing with their friends and their peers. Now, for England, Scotland, and Wales, that 11% was actually a lot higher. The 11% was an average for worldwide study. So actually, it is quite a significant problem. The problematic social media usage was the highest end of the scale. And over a third of young people, it was actually 36% of young people reported what they called constant contact with their friends. And that is things like being contacted in the middle of the night, push notifications coming through from social media apps. Now, this is quite concerning for children and young people, and probably for yourselves as parents and carers as well. Now at Devonshire Road, we do online safety and digital citizenship lessons as soon as the children start every academic year. And not only do we teach that in a big block unit, we actually recap and recover all of the content of these lessons throughout the academic year. We also hold whole school assemblies to continue that message as well. And we also try and share guides wherever we possibly can from the National Online Safety, surrounding things that crop up, certain apps that are popular with children and young people, and trying and keep you informed as best as we possibly can. We also talk about communication support, how we best interact with children, and how they best interact with each other, especially things like social media. And we also talk about digital footprint, anything that actually they do online stays online, showing them case studies and examples of that. And we also talk about how to notice the signs of addiction-like behaviours as well, and actually setting them some tips and some guides and some things that they can do if they use social media at home, how to change their privacy settings as well. So it is something that as a school we are looking at and we are trying to educate the children about. If you need any support with anything in terms of addiction-like behaviours or problematic social media usage, please do get in touch with class teachers or myself, and we can help you support your children and young people through that. We also have this guide, helpful guide from the National Online Safety, and this is all about managing screen time and actually looking at online bullying as well. So we will send this out with the link to this video, so you've got access to it as a PDF and an image file as well. But just some helpful tips here. So trying to get them to discuss with yourselves what they've seen on social media. If there's anything that's worrying them, anything that's concerning them, they can access that and they can talk to you, be open with them, explain why things crop up on social media feeds, the algorithms, that the more that you view of certain things, the more it's going to come up. I'm thinking things like TikTok and your For You page. We can also learn how to hide the content as well. So certain content can be hidden with privacy settings. Again, if you need support with that, please come and speak to us. And trying to help them, to encourage them. I'm looking there at number 7, turning off the push notifications. I know specifically on iPhones, you can set like a bedtime. I know I do it on my phone particularly. At a certain time, I put my phone into what is classified as sleep mode, sleep focus mode, and all push notifications are disabled then. They don't come through at all. It's only when, you look at your phone again in the morning that you see those notifications, and then you can deal with them as and when, rather than being interrupted at, let's say, 11, 12 o'clock in the night. Another aspect of this online safety update that I wanted to share with you all is mobile phone access for young people. Now, we know that mobile phones are pretty much an integral part of most people's daily lives, but a study that's been conducted has actually suggested that delaying mobile phone access, specifically smartphone access to children and young people, can benefit their mental health and well-being as well. I'm just relating it back to the social media and the things that we've just discussed there. But teenagers with problematic phone usage are twice as likely to have anxiety, and it was done through a study through King's College in London. And they've also identified that 84% of bullying now takes place online, um, particularly between the ages of 8 and 17. And smartphones are they're just a gateway to that. Um, so it opened up a wide range of different risks as well associated with that. So again, what can yourselves as parents and carers do? There's parental controls that you can set up. I'm thinking of apps like Custodio, Aura, NetNanny. All of these apps, unfortunately, are not free. They do come with a payment plan, but it's something that it's worth considering. If your child, you're identifying that your children have got mobile phone access, you can set certain apps that they can and cannot access. You can set daily limits. You can set screen time access. Um, there's a whole host of different features that those apps have. Um, I highly recommend monitoring your children's usage, setting up tech-free zones within the house if that's possible and something that you would consider doing. But again, something that I mentioned in the previous section, keeping those online discussions open, keeping the discussions with your children open about what they are seeing online. And particularly if there's cases of bullying online that are happening, please make sure that you are monitoring that, you're blocking certain people, you are using the privacy settings and stuff that the apps do have within them. It can sometimes be a little bit fiddly to find them, but they are out there. Um, and also the bottom point there is setting a good example. Is there a certain time where everybody's phones are down and you have that open discussion with your children, just trying to limit the mobile phone access. I know I'm guilty of it sometimes, using my mobile phone too much. So it's just being aware of that and being conscious of what sort of how we can display the right behaviours to our children as well. And then there's another really useful guide here, the Online Bullying National Online Safety Guide. Again, keep talking to your children about online bullying that potentially is happening, making yourself available and being prepared to listen. Not only that, if things are happening online, reporting that to the right people as well. Um, and if it is something that you consider is immediate threat or immediate danger to your child or their safety, involving the authorities as appropriate as well, especially if you are knowing that illegal behaviour and illegal activity is taking place. The last one that I want to discuss today is online financial scams. Now, this is something that can expose children, but it can also expose parents and carers as well. And there's been a sharp rise in financial scams. Now, that isn't necessarily uncommon. This is something that financial scams and online financial scams have happened regularly for years and years and years, but they are becoming more available because of the technology that is out there at the moment. I'm thinking AI particularly is something that is on the rise, and it's something that it is creating opportunities for people to impersonate other people. So I'm thinking deep fakes of celebrities, deep fakes of images that are happening. Um, but the phishing and the techniques and the written communication, emails that come through, text messages that are coming through from these fraudsters essentially, they are catching a lot of people out. So we have got a guide again from National Online Safety that we will send out to everybody, just to keep you informed, and speak to your children about things like online purchasing. Think about setting up some privacy settings and think about setting up some restrictions about how children can pay for things on their devices, especially if it's associated with your debit or credit cards as well, because that can open up a whole host. There's been all sorts of different case studies and all sorts of things in the news about people buying an £8,000 yacht, for example, on eBay just through one click of a button. So just be mindful that if you are putting your bank details on there, that you're not then falling foul of potentially losing a lot of money. So I'm hoping that just a very brief update of some online safety things has been helpful for you. If you need anything at all, or you have any more questions, or you want further advice, please do get in contact with the office, and I'll be more than happy to help you. Thank you very much.